chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine.
Paint with every vision, dance in new directions, explode to new heights in your mind.
I will rise up with you today.
Lift up my
voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for.
Welcome to our AGNT Today presentation for this week. I'm Michelle Medrano from Denver, Colorado, from Mile High Church, and I'm hosting today. Usually we have the lovely Erin here as our host, and I'm so happy to be here with you representing our Association for Global New Thought, and we're delighted that you are tuning in to be with us. It's a very special time right now. We are in the season for nonviolence, this wonderful creation that started here with the Association for Global New Thought that is impacting the globe right now. We've got study groups meeting and people meeting all over the planet to really deepen into nonviolence communication and to honor nonviolence in their lives. And so we hope that you will consider joining us in that effort. You can go to our website at agnt.today, where you can find all sorts of resources for yourself individually, for the center you're in, and you can find groups. You can join a group. You can join the conversation. You can be with us, and we would love to have you be with us in any way that feels as a fit for you. And we are in this process. We have 64 days of concepts that we're studying. And so today we're looking at the concept of self-forgiveness. And so we may address that a bit in our presentation. And so I am thrilled to be joined by one of my favorite people on the planet, a beautiful colleague of mine. Temple Hayes is here, and we're going to have a conversation here for the next few minutes. So be paying attention, because when we're complete, we're going to go into a Zoom room and have dialogue and questions and answers, and we welcome any questions you might have and want to hear from you. So hi, Temple, so glad to have you here with us today.
Hello, esteemed colleague. And I see every time I'm on the AGNT Speaks on Wednesdays, I'm always excited to be here. And then when Barbara Fields, our silent partner in the background, when she plays everything, I go, does the executive director, Dr. Barbara Fields, ever sleep? I'm like, the massive amount of material that's there, and the memes and the quotes and the Spanish and everything that's available, it's so exciting. So I just always like to acknowledge her, because I'm always about giving credit where credit is due. She is the glue that holds this amazing journey for all of us together. And you know I love you, so that's just the way it is. You're my mastermind partner.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Temple.
The voice from nowhere shows up to thank us. That's great. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're talking about self-forgiveness. So one of the things that comes to mind with me, if we ask ourselves, what's in our way? We ask ourselves, what's in our way? And one of the things that I found through my own life experience and journey is what was in my way is that I had this idea that you would work through something once. Maybe you'd go to group therapy, or maybe you'd work with a counselor, or maybe you'd, read the writings of Ernest Holmes in one of your, ministerial groups, or you'd go to your practitioner, or Michelle, and you'd go, oh, I want to heal this. And you'd think, okay, I'm done with that. That's done. Now let me get on to the next thing. For some reason, even though we hold this space that we have many, many lifetimes, we certainly seem to often get in a hurry of instant gratification with this one. So what was in my way with self-forgiveness is that when something would come up, would show up, would reveal itself, it's almost like I would turn on me, and I would go, I thought that I had done that already. I can't believe that here I am again. I can't believe after all that work I did with my counselor that I'm still having to deal with this communication thing with my relationship, or whatever. And one day it was just like the sky parted Right? The drums started beating, and I got this tremendous message. There's no such thing as you have ever worked through this before, because you are not who you are today. And so I have discovered that on my journey, and others, that when it reveals itself again, you want to get excited about it, and you want to go, I'm even more ready now than I was before. I thought I'd healed the dad stuff, and I did. I did with what I was capable of then, but now I'm being called because my vibration is different. And so I'm going to delve into it differently now and have even greater and new insights. So that's been one of my biggest aha moments when it comes to self-forgiveness, is that it really is about the self and the evolution of how the self presents itself over the course of our lifetimes. Not just one time I can check this off and I get a star on my little checklist.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Shrek, when he says ogres have layers. It's like,
Yes.
forgiveness at every level, I think you're right, often has layers, and we hit the layer that we're capable of hitting, and then we go below. And I love how you're talking about that from the standpoint of, we get mad about the fact that we hit another pocket of it. And I'm now learning, hopefully more often than not, to be grateful that I hit that pocket, because it gives me the opportunity to go deeper. So what would you say is one of the greatest benefits for you of self-forgiveness? How does that help you in your life, in your relationships, in what you do, with every layer that you go deeper and deeper into it? What shows up in your life because you've done the work?
Well, just like if I take the layer of my dad, my dad was a rageaholic. We had some tough times. We mirrored each other. In many ways, we were a lot alike. And I would say that in the early days, early sobriety, early forgiveness, a lot of it I was doing in my head. And I also find that it's so easy, especially in New Thought, to be so convincing externally. I can say the right words, I can do the right affirmation and give the right information. And yes, it was more my head. But then when more would reveal itself, we would go deeper. I would go deeper. We, meaning me and my dad, we would go deeper into the heart space. And what was interesting is that where a friend of ours, a colleague of ours, Michelle, Dr. Kathleen Linover, just not long ago died. And she had written one of her love notes that said, there's two times a person dies. Once is when their heart stops, and the other is when people stop talking about them. And so where I've had a lot of people die in my life, and a lot of them still communicate with me in different ways at different times, of course, not all of them at the same time. But my dad, there was no bridge there. There was no communication. There was nothing that ever happened. And when I went deeper, like the last time that I said, I am going to spend the whole weekend with you, and I'm just going to delve into this and clear some stuff, it was so beautiful. And now I can feel his presence. And now I can hear him. And I had lunch with my friend James Van Prague, and he said, your dad's coming through. Your dad wants to know why you don't have any photos of him in your office.
Oh,
And I
wow.
said, I'll have them up. Give me a week and I'll have some up. And so they're there. But that is the part of the opening, of keeping the heart open, because it may not look like what you think it's going to look like, but it's the deepening of the heart. So the bigger part of your question is that when you come to a place within your own self-forgiveness, that you are on your team no matter what, you will not criticize yourself no matter what, you will deeply love yourself no matter what. It's like this wellspring of love, comes over you in such a way that people might deny you, people might criticize you, you might feel upset about something that's, minimized, but in your heart you go, nothing or no one can ever hurt me. Nothing or no one. So we keep our ego lessened, and we keep our big love bucket wide open. Love me, use me, whatever, because here I am, Lord, here I am, law. And in that space, that energetic presence, life is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Beautiful. So you're talking really about profound love that just can pour out through us and as us into our entire beingness and into the life we're living. And then what I also hear is freedom, just total freedom to be and express ourselves. And those are two powerful qualities. Those are
Yep.
beautiful.
Yeah, but self-forgiveness, right? I mean, Michelle, and you're a master teacher, but to me, self-forgiveness, creating that non-violent way of being, because Arun Gandhi would say violence is when you see something, you don't do anything, but to just walk stern and boldly in that consciousness. Self-forgiveness brings forth a whole layer that I think it says in scriptures, eyes have not seen nor ears heard, neither have entered in the hearts of humankind. I use humankind instead of man, but your listening deepens, your your connection deepens within our humanity, one to each other or sentient beings. I just find life to be so amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think you and I have very similar fathers. My father is still on this side of life, and it's been one of my greatest profound growings and learnings to forgive him for his rage and to forgive myself in the process of how I perceived him and to have a more loving relationship with him. He lives
Yes.
right near you. And so, as you know, when I was at your center a few years ago, I got to see him in person for the first time in many, many years. And it
Oh,
was
that's
so healing.
right.
It was
Yes.
very healing to do that right there in your bookstore. And so that has opened up things for me that I never thought were possible, just to continue to forgive myself and him and all beings in my
Mm-hmm,
life.
mm-hmm. And I had to, a bigger part for me and self-forgiveness is that someone asked me yesterday on an interview, what do you stand for? And I said, I stand for the fact that I am not broken and the world is not broken. And that is a part of self-forgiveness too, is when you realize that you were programmed and you were duped and you've been mind trained all your life that you're supposed to be broken. Because if you believe in some capacity that you're broken, you buy more products, you spend more money, you can be easily swayed, you can be easily governed. And so my biggest self-forgiveness was that nothing has to be wrong.
Yeah.
I am an individuation of God. I am not broken. I am whole. I am holy. And I'm not talking about intellect, and I'm not talking about kumbaya campground songs of new thought. I'm talking about that deep, deep part that we know that we are truly made in the image and likeness of our creator. And unless we believe our creator is broken, we can't be broken. You
Mm.
know that there's no, so it's to heal that belief that self-forgiveness is I am not broken. I may have issues going on, I may have challenges, but the core of me is truly unwavering, powerful beyond measure, and I want to know more about it because that's God stuff right there.
Very powerful, so powerful. And if you're all enjoying this conversation, which I see some people commenting in the chat section, we're going to play a couple clips now of Temple and me in our messages. The wonderful Barbara's going to play those, and then we're going to move into a Zoom room for more conversation about this. And we love your questions, so I hope you'll stay with us and join us in the Zoom room. Questions, comments, all of it's welcome. So we'll see you in just a moment. Here come the clips.
Well, about 18 years ago, I was called into a hospital because a young 40-year-old man had severe diabetes, and he was at the end of his life. His organs were starting to shut down. And so the mom invited me to come in, and I felt very honored that she did that. And again, wires and plugs and big pieces of equipment and all that. He's laying there, his color isn't right. He just looks like he's sleeping. And I just got this nudge to be out there. I got this Myrtle Fillmore moment. I got this call inside of myself, and I just went into prayer because they thought I was going to be doing last rites. Well, I don't like to do last rites. Okay, I'm not. I was like, get somebody else to do. I want to do the living rites. I want to do those. And so I just start to going, and it's like something's coming through me. And I just said, oh, blessed God, please forgive this man. He's taken his life for granted. Now, you got to know I've never met him in my life. I didn't know anything about him. I said, he's taken his life for granted. He thinks it's a joke. He's been treating his life like a joke. He's not been listening, and everybody's offering him love, and he's just not paying any attention. And what the heck? And he's just, oh, God, please forgive him. Please forgive him for not understanding the precious value of life. Well, his eyes opened. Well, he coughed. He sat up in the bed and he started wailing. Oh my God, you're so right. You're so right. I haven't been treating myself correctly. I haven't been doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh my God, and how did you know that? And how did you know that? In 4 weeks, he drove with a brand new suit and he sat right in the back row, and he came here for many years. Please listen. Please, if you're going around on your bios and telling people you're metaphysical, please be metaphysical. Give us good branding.
What a wise woman you are. And so dynamic too. And I think she's got another clip she's going to cue up, probably of me doing something crazy. I don't know. Who
Doing
knows?
something amazing. Yeah. That's what I know about you.
That was a great story, Temple. Thank you very much.
Thank you, love.
Mm-hmm.
And hello to Abigail and Peggy and Kathy, Reverend Kathy and Mary Lou. We greet you in that consciousness of life and love, and we're just glad you're here with us, and we thank you, Abigail and Steve.
It's great to have everyone here.
There she is.
Today, I am talking about kindness. If you don't know it already, my topic is letting kindness win. And this was born out of the previous months as I've watched especially the cycle of election go on and watched things happen online and in the media and watched friends and family members and people disconnect out of that sense of not agreeing with each other, and even with other issues that are going on in our world. So many that we could mention. I'm sure you all know what they are, but I don't know about you. I just started to witness that our kindness was beginning to falter. Our ability just to simply be kind with people was beginning to fall away, and I was feeling a little discouraged about it a few times. I would watch conversations happen and think, I'm so surprised that people can't be kinder. And then I would watch specific conversations from people I knew personally with other people I knew personally and would be shocked and amazed and think, I thought they were a lot kinder than that, and look what they just said online to that person. And so I realized that I needed to take a deep dive into kindness myself. I needed to do some practices that would get me back in touch with the loving kindness that truly exists in the world. Because the reality that I began to discover, even born out of that negative feeling, was that there is a lot more kindness going on than unkindness, no matter what may have been happening for the last few months. And I began to witness it and began to call it forth and began to see it, began to remember it. Stories of kindness on this planet abound. Stories of kindness, of human kindness towards other humans abound. In fact, there are websites dedicated to it.
Yeah, there are websites dedicated to it for sure. So I think we are now in the Q&A section here. So if you want to ask a question, any of you who are watching, you can do so by clicking the Q&A down below. You can